Hey everybody. So today I'm going to show you a little about how I am performing with the Elektron Octatrack, the Digitone, and the Teenage Engineering OP-1. This is a really cool method. I've seen some people post about kind of aspects of this, and I just want to kind of give my own take on it. I found that this method adds a lot of spontaneity and like live energy to a recording or to a performance. If you want to capture that, this is a nice method to kind of integrate live instruments with kind of pre-sequenced drums and pre-sequenced synths, what have you. Kind of bring it all together and give it a little life outside of what you've already sequenced. So to start with, I'm just going to go through the different tracks on the Octatrack and tell you a little bit about how they're all set up. So first one is just a kick drum. I like to have kick drum on its own because that's such an important part of this style of music that I'm creating. So it's good to have that on its own, so I could filter it or compress it or whatever I need to. Track number 2 is a pre-recorded synth loop. Actually, when I was jamming, I kind of found this sequence and I liked it so much I just kind of threw it into a track to always be there. Track 3 and 4 are other kind of like tops, like hats and snares and stuff. And then over here on the right side, track 5, this is another kind of like rhythmic loop that's kind of running throughout. Track 6 is a through track, so this is where I have the OP-1 coming in. You can see it's coming into input A here, and track 7 is a pickup machine. So this is the looper, and I've got this set to basically listen to the 6th track, so the through track. The through machine, I should say. That's where the synth's coming in. The pickup machine is listening to that. You can see the source 3 is T6, so it's listening to that track, and therefore I can kind of use that to loop it. And then track 8 is the master track. So I've also got the Digitone over here, and that is kind of sequenced independently. I know you could sequence the Digitone with the sequencer in the Octatrack, but I'm not exactly an expert, so I've got a couple of different patterns sequenced into the Octatrack and a couple different sequences within the Digitone, so I can kind of play with them independently, which is also a kind of a cool thing. It's not, I find if you have two independent sequencers playing, it gives you a little bit more options to kind of mix and match, which usually leads to some kind of like happy accidents. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little performance now, and if I have track 7 selected and I hit this Rec 1 button, it'll start recording. It'll start looping on the next kind of go round. And the way that I've set that up is if I go to function rec 1, you can see I've selected track 6 under source 3, so it's listening to track 6. If I go to the second setup page, you can see that I have F in and F out, just minor, very small fade in and fade out to prevent any clicks as the unit is looping. And under Q rec, the quantized rec setting is at 32, which means that after 32 steps, it's always going to start it's basically going to quantize the recording, so we'll always start right at the beginning of a measure, which helps it to be a little bit more clean and even. So I'm just going to do this little performance, and you'll see when I hit rec 1, that's going to trigger the looping to begin on the beginning of the next measure. All right, so let's get started here. All right, switch to the next pattern on the Octatrack. That just arms the track 7 to start looping, and I'm playing the OP-1. It's looping right now. you gotta hit that record 2 button to actually stop it from continuing to loop. But now it's going. There, just hit it. The direction into reverse. So now the next time the sample starts playing, it's gonna start playing backwards. And there you go. Now it's playing backwards. Switch to a different patch on the OP-1 here. OP-1 could be nasty. It's got a reputation for being a ambient machine, which it is really good for, but it can be nasty too. Okay, so that's now looped on top of that other loop that I just had created. I mean, you could just keep going like that too. You could just keep adding more and more layers on top of the old loop, but it gets pretty dense pretty quick. Switching up patterns on the Octatrack and the Digitone. Yeah, so I'm just messing around with scenes here. This one scene I had, I basically takes the volume all the way down on that track 7 loop, so I can kind of disable that and then loop something completely new. But I love being able to use scenes to easily kind of fade in and out different parts or different tracks. Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep on jamming here, but that's about it for today. Feel free to hang, but otherwise, thanks so much for stopping by. Hit me up with any questions in the comments below. Otherwise, subscribe for more videos in El Futuro. Thanks. Peace.